everyone, this is James from TDB bringing you another Inbetweenisode. Today I am going to be talking about a tea that I bought recently. I don't buy as frequently as I used to, but I do want to highlight teas that, I like everyone here, I dabble, I buy a cake here, a cake there. But when I do see opportunities to buy multiple of something that I like and the price is right, I will buy more. So for me, these days, more is not what it used to be, where it'd be a tong or two tongs. It's like something like 3 cakes, which is what I bought of this tea, which has been dubbed the math cake by some people. And the tea is the 2004 Xiaguan FT8653-3+1. Why the 3+1? I suspect it's because 4 is an unlucky number in Chinese, and so you get around that by doing a little math, 3+1. So this is an interesting tea. To me, it was introduced by Toby and Emilio back in the day. I think quite a while ago, as this was an Inbetweenisode 117, whereas now we're on the 400. So that would mean it'd be something like 8-9 years ago at this point. Emilio does still sell it. Quiche Tea sells it as well. I actually got this for a bit of a lower price, $65, because I think it was on special at the time. And it's one of those teas that is rumored to have a non-standard varietal. And it has just a very distinct pungency that Emilio has talked about. You can check out the Xiaguan Masochist report to read about that. And this was really one of the highlight teas of the report. I find it very satisfying for the price. Not necessarily a great benchmark Xiaguan tea. That's because this is made by Feitai. So while it's a take on kind of the classic 8653 recipe, I think you can definitely find some more typical 8653 recipes there. Specifically, a good version of the 2005 iron cake, I think, is a great benchmark. But yeah, this has like a very interesting, strong aroma. I think it's a very decent, well-rounded tea. And so, yeah, let's get into the tea and get brewing. All right, so let's get into this tea. Let's gonna preheat this guy and rinse it once. So using 5 grams, 75 milliliters. Yeah, so quiche currently charges about $100, Emilio a little bit more for this cake. I think that price is fine. In fact, I've actually been considering buying another cake or so. So I do have 4 cakes total at this time. Yeah, and, is it as good a value as like a $70 iron cake 8653, provided you find good storage? No, but for me at least, like something like that $35 difference spread across that, which is about 10 cents per gram difference. You're talking about like 5 gram session, you're paying an extra 50 cents, which at this point in my life, I'm happy to do most of the time. I don't consider 50 cents to be a huge amount of money in comparison to a tea session. So that amount of money, I am not super price sensitive towards, just honestly speaking right now. I would still consider this to be quite a good value. All right. So brewing a nice dark color there. Testing out my lefty Xiaguan skills. Sweet, pungent pine wood. And these FT8653s is always interesting. For me, at least, the 04 has always been dramatically more gripping than the 2005 that I've tried of the Feitai variety. I'm not totally sure why. The Feitai 8653, the 2005 version, I found to be fairly similar in its overall notes. But there's something about the 2004 that's just kind of like extra, and it's like a little extra penetrating, a little extra strong on a different level. So yeah, just stacking up a couple steeps right here. Just going casual. Tea I know pretty well at this point. Yep. And the notes are interesting because in some ways, if you describe this tea, you're like, okay, great. It sounds exactly like a normal Xiaguan 8653. But it's just the way that it presents the notes. It's just a little bit different than your kind of standard cake. So I did do the 2005 comparison at some point. So check out that episode if you want to really nail down kind of how these teas are different. Cheers. let that cool down just a bit. And I did hit a couple younger teas just a bit ago. So I do feel a little bit of rumblies and tumblies just because, those young teas can get you a little sweaty. Yeah, really like sweet pine wood taste. Some menthol toothpaste coming off this. I don't consider toothpaste to be a bad note, by the way. So yeah, this is definitely one of those teas that I suspect will be fairly polarizing for folks. Yeah, nice sweetness to it. Very, very sweet tea. Yeah, very good example, kind of that petrichor, that like kind of humidity just coming off of the sidewalks from like a humid place like Taiwan. I can just smell that in this tea. So very, very apparent. Yeah, definitely not a tea for everyone. Some people could be like, "That's like, why would you want petrichor and like pine wood and toothpaste in your tea?" I don't know, man. I just like the stuff. So, this tea is definitely going to be for some people, but not others. So, check it out if you are curious about Xiaguan, especially if you've had, I'd say this is like not maybe step 1 in Xiaguan, but maybe step 2. So once you've kind of had some good experience with like maybe a more standard Iron Cake 8653, a couple of like the tools, then this is, I think, a very logical step up from those just to try and see if it kind of hits your specific points. Yeah, and this tea just crosses me as a related cousin to the 8653 rather than being in exactly the same as kind of an official Xiaguan production. Smooth, nice taste in the throat too. It's just a very pungent aroma. Not the most pungent example I've had, but it still definitely has that. I am getting hungry, so I think I'm probably going to call it just on this third one. Going to push this just a little bit. Yeah, those two Chen Chung Hao samples got me going pretty good. So, yeah. So yeah, this one aged Taiwan, I presume, something like 20, 21 years. Pretty consistent steep in, steep out. I noticed that. So yeah, I haven't had a ton of session variation here. You got your chopped off leaf as one would expect for Xiaguan. Cheers. Still quite hot, but yeah, presenting more or less the same way. Definitely a little bit of astringency and stuff coming into the tea, as one might expect from kind of a fairly standard production. So yeah, this is a tasty tea. I doubt it's going to change all that much. Might get a little bit better, just kind of smooth out those edges over time. But yeah, this one would be the same one that Quiche sells, so go ahead, check them out. Check out Emilio's site too if you want to order a sample instead. I don't know if his source is the same. It might be different, so he might have slightly different storage on his. Yeah, this is just a tasty tea. A nice aftertaste, good depth to it, kind of sticks in the throat too. I like the overall profile. I don't think everyone will, but this is not a broadly appealing tea like the 7542 or 8582 could be. So, but I don't have too much more to say about this. Thank you all for tuning in. Check out the Xiaguan Masochist Report if you want to see me drink through a whole lot of different Xiaguan at some point, and I will see y'all next time. Cheers.